I'm Sung Ray.
I'm something else.
We're Black Girl Soul, a podcast where we discuss the Asian dramas we love from a black female perspective. We are looking to be entertained, to learn about other cultures, and share our passion for these shows. Welcome.
Hi everyone, this is Black Girl Soul with Something Else and
Song Ray.
So, we are back with more Sisyphus. We're going to keep going from episode 5, and I hope you are listening along with us, watching along with us, so that you can get our observations, and you can also reach out to us on social media with your observations. So, Sung Ray, starting with chapter 5, what did you notice? What did you like? What did you hate?
So in episode 5, this episode we have basically Seo-hae had just gotten saved from the water when she and he had jumped in. She lost his grip and passed out. So he saves her and he takes her to Kim Seo-jin, that's the redhead doctor. He takes her to the doctor's office, that lady, his former girlfriend. And there he does his best to try to patch her up, and he's working on, basically giving them a little hideout because they are on the run. She catches them, and she comes to the office. Basically, she isn't aware of exactly who Seo-hae is, but she helps out because it's Han Tae-sul, and she wants to, quote-unquote, pretend to be helpful. I really do not feel like she is on his side or that she has his back at this point, but, it is what it is, and we shall find out what comes of her. But Seo-hae lets Tae-sul know about the future and that it's bleak and that there's a war that breaks out and wipes away most of South Korea. We also find in this episode that officer, his name is Hyun-gi, maybe, G-I, so Gi, Hyun-gi, was used by Control Bureau to believe that Seo-hae killed his mother as an illegal immigrant from the future. So he is taking a whole lot, but the fact that his mom dies, that becomes a big issue. He bit this line, hook, line, and sinker, and took it and ran with it. He was concerned about where these people came from. And so the famous line that has stuck in my head because he says it so many times from Control Bureau leader Hwang Hyung-sung is where is not what's important. Where is not important. What matters is when. And so it took me a second to catch that. I don't know why, but it took me a second to catch that because I was like, why does he keep saying this? But finally it hit me. He's saying y'all shouldn't even care about where these people are coming from. It's when they're from the future. So I got it after a while, like slow, but whatever. And we end off, we end that episode with them being, preparing to try to attack Control Bureau by going to this event Eddie Kim is going to be hosting.
So also, what were your big observations? Oh, okay, come on.
I was going to say also in this episode, not this episode, but also I am looking forward to seeing if old boy comes back because I'm sorry, I'm convinced he's returning to the show. I'm not sure how or what he's going to be doing, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him come back.
Okay. So what are your big observations from the show so far?
Nothing major, just, them interacting, their conversation, her sharing her. Because they have a moment where the two of them, you can see they're growing close, so I could see there's going to be a relationship forming here somehow. Because they're sitting and drinking beer and sharing their tales and, that kind of thing. So this one wasn't like a big, woo episode. This was more of a background filler, like we find out about how she lived in the future. He shares some of his history. So, just getting some filler information to help you understand your characters better.
Right. And I really appreciate that. I do appreciate the pacing of the show so far because when they fleshed out the future, that is one of my pet peeves where people are coming from the future, but you never see the future. Because they didn't have the production budget to build a future. You know what I'm saying? So they just like, the future was like this. Like, no, we want to see it. We want to see her life. And so it's great to see kind of glimpses or full on bits of the future to see what she's fighting against, the kind of life that she had, how she can on one hand be so methodical and then at the next moment she's super innocent, and it's because her childhood was very different because of the future that she lived in. And then also it was interesting, like at some point, which is a does statement for me, I realized how both leads had fractured childhoods with few family to support them. She only had her father. He only had his brother. So it's like, oh, okay, that's another place where they really kind of relate to each other, because in their own way, they were like the only children in their world. And so this was just very interesting to kind of see the parallels between the two of them, because I would have to look it up to see how much older he is from her. I don't think it's like so ridiculously substantial, but it's just like
you're talking about future realize, her and present him,
or just well, I'm talking about the actors themselves. Like when you because he looking it up, you know, because I'm trying to do the most real fast, because he is 41. And she is 31.
Okay.
So when I look at them, I see the age difference a little bit. And so I think that what helps is that their personalities help to bridge that gap a little bit. It's not like a ridiculous age gap where you couldn't see adults falling into a relationship. It's just that you have to realize that Han Sul is a little bit socially awkward, because he's been very focused on his work. It's like he doesn't have faith in people. He has faith in science. And so he gives most of his attention to that and to being focused on his goals. And she has had to she was raised to be a weapon.
Right.
Her father really wants her to turn off her feelings and just focus on staying alive and being in survival mode. It's just an interesting thing for him to want her, like the father says in one of the earlier episodes, that he wants her to go to the past so that she can have a good life.
Right.
Forget about Han Tae-sul. Go back to the past and just enjoy your life, because he wants her to balance out the maturity that she was forced to gain. So, I mean, I enjoyed the episode as always. And then I have this note, like, it's overkill to have so much manpower to get one chick.
Man.
Like,
she is duping them every time.
Right. And then at one point, I call him Sad Son. You know I'm awful, you guys. But I call the cop that they have duped into believing that she killed his mother, I call him Sad Son. And I'm like, because Sad Son has a gun that is as tall as he is. When he takes out that big sniper rifle, I'm like, dude, you need all that gun to kill one little woman? Like, I mean, let me not be, sexist or whatever. But it's like, y'all are doing a lot to get one chick.
And so that then would lead us into episode 6. So in episode 6, Eddie Kim has this party. The two of them go to the party to try to infiltrate. Like, they're trying to find out what they can find out, get what they can get. He's on the hunt for information about his brother. She's just basically trying to figure out who's in control and what's happening here. And so he spots a vision of his brother. Everything seems to be going well. They've done all of what they're supposed to be doing. Everything is, working. But he happens to spot his brother. And again, at this point, his brother's a mirage. Like, we can't tell, is this dude real? Is he not real? Is he really just seeing all these sights? But, he sees his brother and he goes a little wonky. He goes to the left and he starts doing what he wants to do. And the brother pulls her in and has a conversation with her and tells her, you are part of the problem. You are causing trouble to come to Han Tae-sul, and you need to leave him be. Let him go. Like, stop trying to help him and go do whatever you're supposed to be doing. In which case, she winds up taking control bureau on alone, and in doing so, she gets shot by a boy. So, yes, again, she called him Sad Son. His name is Officer Hyun Gi, and now he's Control Bureau Officer Hyun Gi. But he goes and he shoots her in her leg. And once he shoots her in her leg, my friend returns. Son comes to save her in this fly-ass vehicle. Like, it is super nice. I like that car.
Right. But you come to find out, dude comes into some money because he finally checked his pocket. So,
Played that lotto.
Okay, because the minute I saw him roll up with the car, I was like, okay, Is it a little bit corny? Yes, because I don't love him as a character in this drama. No disrespect to the actor. But is it cool as hell that he rides up in such a nice ride to save her? Kind of, yeah. The portion of me that loves a good action film or show is just like geeked out. Like, yes, because honestly, I know this sounds crazy given Han Solo's brains and her brawn, but when they were plotting all that stuff to get into the party, I kind of low key thought they were bumbling. It's just like two of them against the world, and I just low key was like, I'm sure you're going to be able to do it, but I don't feel like you're going to be able to get away with it. And the minute everything came on and she was surrounded, I was like, oh, chick, I kind of felt this happening. And then he slides up and I'm like, woo, okay. You all got some help. Because it's just like, I don't know. I prefer them best on the show when they have reinforcements. When it's just the two of them, it's great. But to me, they're on like super shaky ground. So when they have like help, I'm always grateful. How about you?
And I'm sorry, like you said, I just kind of feel like we're in a place where, you know me and my suspension of disbelief. It's a little unbelievable. Like, you two against all of these men with guns, and y'all always magically pass through the bullets, and you always magically get away. Like, to a degree, yes. To a degree, that's not working. So,
just reiterating for folks who, like, are loyal listeners and anyone new, Sung Rae has, like, a difficulty with suspension of disbelief. She's pragmatic. She deals in reality. I live in fantasy land. I am cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Sometimes you can hear it, and sometimes you don't. So as long as they can reasonably get that image on screen, even though I know it don't make no damn sense, I go with it. I watch Die Hard movies, and I really believe that he's able to save the world every film. Hello. I mean, not real. I'm not crazy. But I'm saying, just in case someone is like, well, this chick is special. Yes, I am. But yeah, when I saw that, it's like it fed into everything. Even if you have to suspend disbelief, everything flows because the characters are supported. Like, that's where good acting comes in. That's when I appreciate, I forget what is his name? The actor who plays, I love him, Han Tae-sul. His name is Cho Sun-woo, if I'm saying it correctly. I knew him. I mean, he seems to be pretty diverse. Like he should be a favorite actor, and I should really learn how to say his name because I knew him from Stranger, but he has a pretty varied resume, including at one point he played in Hedwig and the Angry Itch, which anyone who's seen or heard of that musical knows that is some gender bending. He's a real thespian. So you can see the little micro expressions as he acts, and you're like, wow, he's really good. Like, he's not just telling you Han Tae-sul is low key, maybe on the spectrum somewhere, or just not interested in people. You see it in how he will, like, when he doesn't want to hear something, he like turns his eyes away. He's not, you can see it like when he's in little places where he's just like, I'm not interested. This doesn't support what I'm trying to do. And I low key, as we have watched these, if Han Tae-sul was on his own, he'd be dead by now. I am sure of it. Despite his brains,
yes,
without some kind of help, and he's getting help from multiple places, I'm not even sure if he could pay his rent, okay, or pay his mortgage, or like run a business. He always needs, you can see this, he needed his best friend, he needed his brother, he always needs somebody because his brain isn't technically enough. It's a big brain, and he can do a lot. He can, stop airplanes from crashing and all this stuff. But yeah, like I don't believe that Elon Musk alone could stop applying. Like, you know, like you have to believe in the fantasy of Hante Sul to keep going. Just like you have to believe, even sometimes when I watch this character, watch her, I'm like, okay, I know she knows weapons and stuff, but really, she's not the full on super killer. Like she's not a John Wick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like she still has like a bedazzled gun. So it's like a weird balance. She does shoot people, but she's not a killer. It's like she shoots people to stop them from killing her.
To defend herself.
And to protect them.
Right.
Right. But she doesn't shoot them. She doesn't like arbitrarily kill. She doesn't want to just kill to kill, because I think in an earlier episode you see in the future where she doesn't want to kill the kid who is frankly ready to kill her. So, but anyway, I'm rambling. So where would you like to go next, Sunray? Episode 7, or do you have anything else about
here
6?
in episode 6, the other thing that we take note is that they trapped Hante Sul in his house, and the doctor is there, and she's telling him information and trying to make things seem a specific way, but I find it to be, again, she's very suspect to me. I'm not feeling her. I'm not liking her. I think her character is dark. And in that, she's got him trapped in the house. She's playing games with him, you know, to make him believe one thing when really something else is going on. And Siohei is trying to figure out how to save him, how to help him. And with the help of the guy who is the broker's name, I'm sorry, you all, I should have had that together.
People know we're human, and then we're watching it just like they are. Like, they making up nicknames for everybody the way we are. But what's his name?
Park Hyung-do. He's Park Hyung-do. He's the guy who owns Asia Mart, the broker. So in which case they're trying to help, and as they're trying to help, he is able to transport something to the house to break it up, and that was able to give him a chance, Hante Sul a chance to break free. Sun helps her to go try to find Hante Sul and catch him. And so, you know, you see these coordinated efforts where, like, basically what you were mentioning earlier, others come in to try to back support them. And so it's not just the two of them alone fighting against the whole world. They do have others who are supporting them in a myriad of ways. Mind you, she did hold Mr. Man up at gunpoint to get her help, but you know,
right.
she did.
No, I mean, the broker is the kind of guy that sometimes you have to like pimp slap him a couple of times to like make him realize that he should do the right thing. You know, he's that dude. Yeah, just like he's a criminal and a bully. Right. So sometimes you have to not treat him right. You can't reason with him. But I like his character. I like the side characters that are part of the Asian Mart. I love that there's like an Asian Mart. This is the business he decided to use as a front. Like, it's cute even though they're deadly. No one here is completely and perfectly clean. Maybe Sad Sung's mom, but otherwise everybody has their problems and their regrets. A person who is going back to the past isn't the person who's doing so because they are perfect people who live a perfect life. So, but that's all you have for episode 6?
Right. Unfortunately, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. What happened that I just did was some of that was episode 6.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so we moved on to episode 7. Hello.
Right. Also, in this episode, what we've taken note is that she is able to help him because without him even knowing, he thinks she's MIA and missing in action. There's a group of the the people who are coming and transporting in from the future that are like, it's somebody is creating an army, and I'm not sure who the hell it is, but some army is being made, and so she is sniping them off as he is going through the streets of some alleyways and backways of, looks like a market, and he's on the backside of the market, and so as he's going through these alleyways in the backside of the market, she's sniping people off and killing people. Also, she urges him, Sun, and his family to leave. Sun sends his mom and his sister on to, I believe it's the U.S., not sure, but to the U.S. to avoid the war breaking out, but he doesn't leave because, you know, and I was a little bit upset with him for this. I know he calls himself liking her, but we all see where this is going. He ain't got a shot in hell. So, you know, I want him to save himself, go to America, find you a girl there, because she ain't
right. Like, poor Tenderoni. But but I think, one, they need the manpower, like they need the team. And two, I like that the actor has a job, so that's why that's happening, you know. True. Because I also was like, dude, you'll find another young woman with a gun in the future, especially in the U.S. Leave this chick behind. Like, she got issues. She trying to save the... I'm like, just move to a southern state. You'll be all right. You'll find this. And she might be Asian too. That's how America makes them. So, you know, gun-toting Asian women looking for you, sir. But nah, that's not how it ever goes, because he secretly wants to save her, you know. He has saved her in his own way previously, but I'm like, dude, looking at how she rocks and how she rolls, really? Like, maybe she's a little bit out of your league. Like, I'm being funky and rude, but yeah, he's trying, baby. Look at him. He's trying. But I'm like, she's already hung up on Hante Sewell, even though she don't know it yet. They already have proof of a wedding. Damn. Like, they already know what's what. So it's kind of like he's a little engine that could. That's all. But yeah, I don't have any other observations for... Oh, you know what? Let me point this out. So at the end of episode 7, I believe, is when we see the mastermind. Like, we see the kind of silhouette of the mastermind, right? And I think that we may have posted something about that a little while ago going, who is this man? But it was, one, cinematically beautiful to see when the two leads meet up over that catwalk. It was just picture perfect.
Yes,
like, she saved him and he gets up there and they kind of get together and you're like, you all are back together. Because it is uncomfortable when they are apart. It is like not the best scenario when she's gone or he's gone or something like that. So it was wonderful to see them back together. And then you see, wahaha, there's an evil mastermind. And I'm like, okay, this makes things way more interesting than they were before.
This evil mastermind is also Sigma, the symbol we've been seeing.
That brings us to episode 8. In episode 8 is when you realize, yes, there is a Sigma as in a person, and he is nutso. He ain't regular, y'all. What do you think, Sunray?
Girl, he is a special kind of crazy, but I'm going to give him 2 steps, because as we get to meet him in F8, this dude fucking mastermind is like not even okay for him. This sucker came from the future and learned how to amass enough money that he was fucking throwing money and walking around on it. Like, the money didn't mean shit to him. He is amassing all this money in order to be as powerful as he needs to be to do what he needs to do. And he's doing it by using shit from the future. And I'm thinking, why ain't nobody else come back and do this?
Well, I think because everyone is a tortured soul and they are walking the path that they're supposed to walk. I mean, as we watch these episodes, we see more and more of, like, as much as they're coming back to make things different, things about them are, like, they can't change who they are. Right? So these people are coming back, you know, sad son comes back to give his mother a meal. He doesn't think, you know what, let me go win the lotto real quick and take her to the hospital. He's walking the path that he needs to walk because he's tortured. And I think that Sigma is also tortured. And of course, I'm sure we'll find out about more of that later on. But he is also tortured. And part of that torture is that in order for him to follow his plan, he needs money. But we know pretty darn quickly it's not because of the love of money. It's like money is a means to a goal, and the goal is so consuming him. Dude, I'm sure he wiped his butt with some of those dollars or some of that won. So I think he's stepping over it, he's sleeping on it, and that is both a way to show us that he doesn't care about the money, and also to show that he a crazy MF. Like, He ain't right. Everyone around him is moving and jittery and kissing his butt. And he is very calm in the purpose of being Sigma. And that is interesting and makes the actor who plays him freaking brilliant. Frightening, but brilliant. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Sungray?
And I kind of agree. I think the actor has done a magnificent job of conveying that personality, that whatever that is he got going on. He's done an excellent job of conveying it, of being the crazy mastermind, but so crazy he not crazy. So one of my coworkers always says, sly like a fox. So those people who you think they're crazy, but they're not really crazy, they real sly and they got a whole plan going on, but they presented themselves in such a manner you think they're a fool till you look up and go, wait a minute, you did what? So, he's sly like a fox because he is busy doing what he needs to do to get to this space, and he's killing off who he needs to kill off, moving people around, making things happen, because at the end of the day, one of the theories that I've heard and one of the things I kind of have come to believe as well is that this is cyclical. They've done this round more than once. They've done this before. This is not their first time, her coming back to the future or from the future to the past to try to fix things and it not working. Because in the episode 7, we see him watching them on television and such, and he was like, oh, this is the fun part, as though I've watched this before, I've done this before, I've seen this before.
Right. And the actor who plays Sigma is Kim Bong-chul. Okay. I tried it, y'all. Kim Bong-chul. So, yeah, I totally agree with you about the cyclical nature of things, even down to the ending of episode 8 when, so I have a note here for this, and you can tell me what you think, Sungray, but I don't like the way they brought it full circle. She's just walking one day and finds her burial place. Okay. Because I didn't like that. She just going to the, amusement park. She just walking around. She getting into trouble. She just having a regular day in the future. And oops, wait a minute. This is where I died. And here's my little pink notebook. I call BS, y'all.
With all deets.
Right. Everything, all the notes, everything. And it's like in my handwriting, oh, this must have been me. Oh, okay. This is what's going to guide my complete and utter future now. Like, I understand as a kid from the future, she may have not known what to look forward to, but she was going to look forward to going to the past based on a notebook. Okay, Chip. Okay. So I didn't like that. It was too easy. It was too convenient. What do you think?
Oh, no, I totally agree with you. I feel like, too, one of the things that it's like a dual, one portion of me is agitated because she says to Tae-Sol that he should stop looking for Sigma, but I'm going, the hell, Sigma is the problem with all of this from what you all are saying, so how is he not going to look for who's in charge of all of this? This is who's caused all this mayhem. Yeah, we got to find this dude because he's the key to getting this all solved. But she tells him if he looks for Sigma, he's going to die, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm confused. What is really going on here? So this is where the beginning of my confusion begins to bud. It's a small bud, but it's beginning to bud.
Okay, well, we are going to continue talking about your confusion budding and all the other episodes in our next episode that will go from 9, 10, 11, and then 12, you guys, 12. So please come back. And if we got it wrong, please let us know where. If we got it right, please give us our props. This is Something Else and
Sungray. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Black Girl Soul. We enjoyed having you, and please subscribe, like, and follow our Facebook page, YouTube channel, Twitter page, Instagram page, and join our Facebook group. You can also find us on Patreon. Please look below for links. See you guys next week.